Good morning, YouTube. This is Chuck Gentles, and I'm welcome to my channel again, and I got something special today. I'm doing this video to help out a lot of prospectors who get out on a claim and don't exactly know where they are. They think they're probably on a claim. As you can see in this picture, I show a creek and our claim and their claim, and the P on there is the prospector. If you look at the one here, well, that prospector is on the neighbor's claim. And I've run onto people that are there and they say, well, you know, it's close enough. It's close enough to ours. And that's not really true. You've got a certain range that you can be maybe there, but you're stealing precious metals from a federal mining claim, and it's an offense that can be prosecuted and take your equipment and even take your truck in certain circumstances. Then you got the prospector that's on the other side here, and he says, well, you know, I've seen the claim marker, and so I know I'm not on the neighbor's claim, but I'm on our claim. But the space between him and that claim marker might be very rich ground, and he's missing the whole idea of prospecting. If it's good ground and you don't go on it because you might be too close to the neighbor's claim, you're losing, and you're the one that loses. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into some GPS units and show how to solve this problem. Okay, so this is a solution. There are two Garmin GPS units. The one I'm currently using is this one. It's a Garmin 64 ST. The one beside it is the eTrex 10. That's the one I used to use. They both do the same thing, very similar in operation. So I want to get into how to set it up and the easy way to find corners on a claim so you know you're on our claim and that you're actually not claim jumping on someone else's. So the first thing we want to discuss is setting it up, and that's you've got to get on the right datum. So I'm going to go through this on my my 64, my Garmin 64, not the eTrex. They're real similar, just a little bit different way to get there. As you can see, I hope, is you have to go into setup. And to do that, you just you page through the menu, and then all you have to do is hit enter, and you will go into that area. So after you go into the system, you want to go to the WAAS setup, WAAS. That stands for Wide Area Augmentation System. And for our purposes, and even if you're using Google Earth, you want WGS84, and that gets you using the right system for what we do on our maps. And if you're in a different system, I mean, there's others. I can't remember the one that's for Europe. It's like IGNOS, EGNOS. And that's a European, so you don't want to be in a European setup to do this in Arizona, like where I'm at. So now you can see on mine that I'm set up at the WAAS system on the second item down. It's pretty hard to do. I'm trying to hold the hold the GPS and hold the camera at the same time. But once that's set up, then we can get out of that and simply hit quit or page, and you can get out of it, and then you're out of your system. Okay, so now that we're out of there, we've got it set to the WAAS system, WPS 84. Okay, so again we stay on the main menu to get to where we need to go. So you can see I'm on settings. Hope you can see that. It's getting a lot of glare off my window. I want to go right beside it to the Waypoint Manager. And I went the wrong way. There we go. And hit enter. Now that takes you into this screen, and you can see I've got home listed under my Waypoint Manager, and this is where you enter your waypoints. And all you do is, like our club has a whole packet of all the waypoints and all the corners for all our claims. And so you just input that in any of these lines. I mean, I've got a bunch of the claims in here already. As you can see as my cursor goes down. I've got, I don't know how many in here. They're not all in here, but I put them in as I need them or as I go to them. So what you need to do then, because we use degrees, minutes, and seconds on those, and you just enter it. Like if I hit home here, you'll see right there in the middle, when you hit home, you just put in the north and the west unit. So it's 34 degrees, 23 minutes, 288 seconds, and that's all done off of degrees, 360 degrees in a circle, 60 minutes in 60 seconds. So that's all part of the degrees thing, and it's not that important for you to know it. I mean, it's good to know what it is, but all you have to do is put these numbers in your GPS, and then after you get it in, you can just keep arrowing down. And you know, some might be slightly different than this one, but you can either hit go, and you're going to go to this waypoint. Alright, I'm going to leave mine set, you saw it before, it was set on home in Mayor. So if you look down here at the bottom, it says go. You just hit enter on that. And I'm already arriving at home, so that was a poor choice. But it will track, and the way it tracks, if you're going there, if you go to the map, so you go out and you can see on here, I hope you can see that, it's really dark. You can see where my home is right there to start. Or you can quit that and go to compass. Now you can start tracking. Let's see, distance to that marker is 9 feet. Well, wherever I took this at on my property, I'm 9 feet from that area. So there you are, and it's as easy as that to find a claim marker. If you are out on a claim and you have the coordinates, you put it in and hit enter, then you track via compass towards where it says to go, and it'll tell you how many feet it is to that. I mean, sometimes it's 400 feet or 300 feet or whatever, and you just keep walking that direction, look at the marker, see if it's the northeast corner or the southwest corner, whatever corner it is, and you can actually, from that point, pick up your next claim marker location on the coordinates, plug it in, and shoot it from your GPS. So now you know exactly where you are after you get the second one. You know it's maybe on the northwest corner, and you need to go to the northeast corner. Well, now you know where it's at. I mean, you can just follow the compass, and it'll take you right to it. So back to our picture, you don't want to be either one of these prospector guys. You don't want to be this one or this one. You don't want to be claim jumping because it'll get you in trouble. And this one here, you could be missing gold. So use your GPS, put the coordinates in. I mean, and there's so many other functions on the GPS that you can do, and so many other waypoints and ways you put them in. And different ones will be slightly different, but you just go to the menu, pick up the Waypoint Manager, put your waypoint in, hit go or start or whichever one your machine uses, and after it does that, you go to compass and you just follow the arrow, and it'll take you right there and tell you how close it is or how far it is. So I hope this helped you stay out of trouble on our claims and find more gold. I think it'd be a good time to do a video on where to look for gold. I've had a lot of questions on that. Well, how do you know where to go or what to look for? So this might be a fairly long video, but we'll just start here. I did this drawing, and the blue is a creek. This is the creek, and it can be anywhere, a creek like this. It can be even a river can flow like this. The blue arrows show the flow of the water. Okay. The red arrows are showing the gold path through this whole creek area. Now there's different things that will happen in a creek. That flow will stay just like it is unless there's an obstruction. And as you can see, this obstruction here, and I've run into this a couple times, maybe not this many, but this is like a flat rocks laying across the creek. So you have natural riffles here, and your gold's going to lay in on the other side of those flat rocks. And where it starts up here, this is where cobbles would lay in and where your gold would lay on this first corner. So now typically what will happen in a creek is as the water flows, it will go around this bend, but your gold path will be corner to corner like it is here. So you'll get some lay-in right here, more gold. And as it flows this way, if there's no obstructions is the key thing, it'll hit this other inside bend. So actually you're having a straight line from inside bend to inside bend, and from this inside bend to this inside bend, and then you've got this. And this is not infrequent to happen, is to have a log fall in here. So now you have some different things going to happen. You're going to have a slight buildup of gold right here. It's going to change the flow of the water to around to this side, so you're going to have a slight buildup of gold right here on that side. And of course you're going to have a little bit, depending if you're getting underflow under the log or just overflow, you can probably lay in a little bit of gold right here. But now the path has changed a little bit wider, and you're going to have a little bit of lay-in here, and cobbles lay-in on this inside bend, which would be in a straight line from this one still. But you're going to have just a little bit of lay-in here now, just downstream from that. So now your flow is going to come this way, and it's still going to go to the inside bend. It's going to try not to go to the outside bend. Your fast water is going to be here, your slow water is going to be on the inside of all bends. So and this happens quite frequently too, where the creek will split as it comes around the bend, and it'll lay in a sandbar or gravel bar right here. So what happens when it does that is your gold path splits also and goes both sides. So you will lay in gold here and here and here, and you're going to get a little bit of gold here, and something on any inside bend or on an island like this. This is called the heel of the flow and the heel of the bend. On the heel of a bend, like here, you'll get your bigger gold on the heel than on the toe. You're going to get gold here, you're going to get fine gold here, and you're going to get coarse gold here. The same here, you're going to get coarse gold here and fine gold as you go down. So as the creek continues to flow here, it comes down, and I put one boulder in here, and you're going to have a similar thing happen, but boulders are a little bit different. As your gold comes, it's going to split, and it's going to go around the boulder, and it's going to go around both sides, and it's going to, depending on the flow height, it's going to overflow over the top of the boulder. So where your gold will lay, it will be on the sides, on the back side, and on the front side of the boulder. It'll lay in on all different sides of it. And that's why anytime we see big rocks in a creek, that's where the place is to go. But you want to check on all sides of it, and not just say, well, it's like a riffle, it's going to go here. These are like a riffle, and the gold 99% of the time will be on the downstream side. Here on the boulder, because it's round or oblong or whatever, the gold is going to be on every side of it in some instances, and it depends on how hard the flow is. So when it comes off of that, as it splits, you'll also get down here, right in front of it, maybe in a long line, you'll get a gold buildup. And the same here, and I didn't show this on this island, you'll get it here as it comes together on the lower end of this island. This is usually a really good place to get gold. And then it'll continue, and it'll do this same pattern just about everywhere. Now if you have a creek come in, say a creek comes in here, if that's the case, and your flow is this way, if that creek is carrying gold, the old timers called this the right-hand rule. This is the major creek, and typically your gold will lay in more here, and as your flow is this way in this creek and this way here and here. These will be the two spots. They call it the right-hand rule. And depending on how this creek is shaped, if it's coming in at an angle, coming in straight, or coming in from a lower angle like so, where that gold's going to go. But you'll have that feed also. So that's it for this portion of it. Now, what I also want to show you is what to look for in the creek. You know, obviously you're going to be looking for the rocks and the trees and the island and the inside bends and all that, but there's other indicators in the creek, and I'll show you what those are here in just a second. Hey guys, this is what I wanted to show you. Typically when you go to a creek, everybody seems to want to go for this quartz. This is a piece of bull quartz. It's got a slight trace of rust in it that's would make you think there's iron in it, but there isn't. And this is what we call leave right. This leave it right where it's at, and don't necessarily go there. The next thing you should be looking for is this. And this is just a typical river rock. It's rounded on all sides, and it's just the kind of rock you would look for if the stream's been moving and been running in that area. And this is a good indicator. And another thing that this shows is this. It's slightly magnetized. Not highly magnetized. It's very, very slight. This barely has a pull on it. Now, this rock, again, is similar. Now, it's a dark rock, which is really good. Dark rocks are really good. Dark, red, green, black rocks, they're all good. This one is highly magnetized. As you can see, it holds a magnet all by itself. It's still rounded. Excuse me. It's still rounded, and you can see it's been chipped off in the creek. That is also very good. This is obviously a red rock. This rock is also rounded on all sides, but it's not magnetic at all. But this red rock indicates iron, and in this case it's heavy iron, and we find these a lot of times on one of our claims. And when wet, this will turn the water red. It'll turn your hands red. If you're wearing gloves, they'll be red also. But it's when we find these, there's usually really, really good gold there. Next is, this is some more red rock, but it's impregnated with quartz on basically all sides. However, it's not magnetic at all. But I would use that as an indicator just because of its color, that I know there's iron there and there's heavies there. And especially if you find more than one of these. It's a really good area to at least test, you know, to see if you have gold there. Next, let's stay with the quartz. This piece of quartz is really interesting, and in a way it will fool you. This quartz is mineralized. It's got rust stains in it. It's got this in it that isn't fool's gold even. This is mica or isinglass. It does have rust staining on it that indicates iron. And I'm not sure, and a lot of times it has pyrite, and this one does have a little bit of pyrite through it, and there's a spot on here that I know you can't see, it's way too small, but there's actually a little bit of gold. And gold and pyrite, they're kind of found together sometimes. So gold and copper and pyrite also will be found together, and that's another good indication if you have this in the area where you want to dredge or high bank or sluice or pan even. So although it's not a red or that's actually a piece of serpentine. I don't remember exactly where this came from. If you can find this green rock, this is really a good find here, and it is also magnetized, and so there's iron in this, but it doesn't show on the exterior. It's and for some reason green rocks are really good, and especially if you can do this and it's magnetic, it's really good. This is another. This is one of the black rocks. Now this is magnetite. You can see how it moves everything. You know, it's really magnetic. So you know there's iron there, it's heavies there. Anywhere there's heavies, there's a real high possibility that there's going to be gold there. So that's a really good indicator. you know, as much is also a black rock. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll try to get it in the light maybe. Right on this one edge right here. I don't know if I can, let me try to zoom in on it. It's a heavy rock. It's a magnetic rock slightly. It's not as magnetic as the others. I mean, it's a little bit. But it does have the gold right in it, right in that edge. That's the only spot on there. If you look on this side, if it shows up well, it's actually has a reddish tinge to it to show you the iron. But anyhow, all these rocks, you might find some together or be all of one kind in there. I've seen a bunch of red rock in one area, and that's usually a really good place to dig also, because red indicates there's iron in it, or at least an iron oxide. So these are all indicators for you to help you find gold. And with the map and these, you should have a lot better luck at finding your gold. Like the words say, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, give a great comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get future notifications, and definitely come back.